It's a peaceful morning. You're by the window, holding a warm cup of tea, taking in the gentle colors of the early light as the world begins to wake up. For a moment, everything feels still, just right. There's no rush, no pressure. It's in these tiny pauses that our minds find a chance to breathe. We live in a world full of chaos, constant notifications, and endless to-do lists. It can feel like a river of tasks sweeping us along, and this current often brings along a familiar companion, anxiety. That tight feeling in our chest, the racing thoughts, the worry about tomorrow. They become part of our daily routine, almost like the background music of life. But what if I told you there's a way to change that tune? A way to slow down, to pause, and bring ourselves back to center? Today, let's talk about how mindfulness can help. And I'll share a few practices that, with a little patience, can start to ease that anxiety bit by bit. Let's start with the story. Think back to the last time you felt truly overwhelmed. Maybe it was in traffic, or waiting for some big news, or simply waking up with the weight of too many thoughts. In those moments, it's easy to feel out of control, like we're on a treadmill that's speeding up. That's where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is about learning to step off that treadmill and observe it from a place of calm. It's the practice of becoming fully present, right here, right now. And believe it or not, it only takes a few minutes a day to start seeing the effects. One of the simplest ways to get started is with something called 54-32-1. It's a grounding exercise that helps bring us back to the present moment. Here's how it works. Wherever you are, pause for a moment and look around. First, find 5 things you can see. They could be as simple as the texture of the walls or the colors of a picture frame nearby. Then shift to 4 things you can touch. Maybe the feel of the fabric of your clothes, the coolness of a table surface, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. Next, listen for 3 things you can hear, even if it's just the sound of your own breath. Then 2 things you can smell. And finally, 1 thing you can taste, like a sip of water. It's simple, right? But just like that, you've pulled yourself away from the spiral of thoughts and returned to the here and now. Another practice I'd like to share is mindful breathing. It's something so natural that we often overlook it, yet it's one of the most powerful tools we have. Try this. When you start to feel your heart racing or your mind spiraling, take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for a moment, and exhale fully through your mouth. You can count to 4 on the inhale, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. A pattern called box breathing. The rhythmic focus on the breath brings a sense of order and calm, letting the mind know it's okay to relax. Now, here's another story. Imagine a tightrope walker balancing carefully with each step. This tightrope represents our balance between the past and future. Anxiety often pulls us forward worrying about what might happen. Mindfulness helps us find balance on this line by focusing on the present. With time, you start to notice that, although the thoughts may still come and go, they don't have to control you. You become the observer, not just the reactor. Another beautiful mindfulness practice to try is gratitude journaling. At the end of each day, write down 3 things that went well or 3 things you're thankful for, no matter how small. It might sound simple, but it shifts your mind toward positivity, helping to break the cycle of anxious thinking. Over time, this habit rewires the brain, showing us that there's joy and peace in the present if we know where to look. Finally, let's talk about mindful movement. When we're anxious, our bodies can feel tense, heavy, as if they're weighed down by invisible burdens. Movement, whether it's yoga, a gentle walk, or even stretching, can be a form of meditation. Try a mindful walk. Instead of focusing on the destination, notice each step. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the air around you. This type of movement helps us reconnect with our bodies and often helps release tension that we didn't even know we were holding. Mindfulness isn't about clearing the mind completely. That's a common myth. It's about noticing, being aware, and gently guiding ourselves back to center. We may never eliminate anxiety entirely, but we can learn to live alongside it more peacefully. The next time you feel that familiar tightness in your chest, try one of these practices. Take a deep breath. Ground yourself in the present. Notice that you're okay here and now. Over time, these small moments build resilience, creating a buffer between you and anxiety. So remember, mindfulness isn't a destination, but a journey, one that gently guides us back to ourselves. With each breath and every moment of presence, we move closer to peace. And with time, you'll begin to discover that inner stillness, like the warmth of a sunrise, calm and steady, even amidst the busyness of life.